The exact second the Erica Kirk story changed forever had less to do with online speculation and more to do with how the public began sorting through digital files and official timelines. For months, independent observers have followed the aftermath of this tragedy, often struggling to separate unverified social media noise from actual documented records. But the dynamic of the discussion shifted entirely when the focus locked onto specific broadcast clips and public media presentations. Viewers stopped treating the situation as ordinary commentary and started analyzing the hierarchy of information being shared by those close to the organization. In long-form digital reporting, when a major transition faces this level of public curiosity, it forces the audience to look closely at what is verifiable, what is being reported by media figures, and what remains strictly unverified rumor. To understand how this case is being analyzed online, it is necessary to divide the details into clear categories, starting with what has actually been documented on screen. Separating fact from interpretation becomes critical here, and the primary catalyst for the current timeline debate is a specific family photograph from Fort Huachuca, which was explicitly put forward by defenders to baseline Erica's movements on the morning of September 9th. During a live broadcast, Gary Melton from Paramount Tactical displayed this image to show a metadated timestamp of 8:33 a.m., intending to verify her location out on a walk with the children. However, according to the broadcast record, an unexpected statement was made during that live stream, indicating that one of the children visible in the photo was not actually Erica's. While some observers viewed this as a simple misunderstanding during a complicated live production, the moment that clip began circulating on social media, it raised immediate questions, causing critics to look closer at the physical composition of the official timeline at this point. Here is what is actually confirmed based on media records. Moving past the verified broadcast data, the second tier of this mystery involves specific reports and claims brought forward by prominent media figures. According to commentary highlighted on her podcast by Candace Owens, discussions emerged suggesting that turning point. USA officials had been in communication with a Los Angeles-based visual effects studio named VFXLA shortly after the tragedy. A review of this studio's public portfolio shows a specialization in advanced voice cloning and hyper-realistic digital video synthesis. Ongoing media reports allege that an associate named Marcus Wada was the individual interacting with these technology firms, and that internal discussions may have involved exploring synthetic AI voices for upcoming presentations meant for donors behind the scenes. While there is absolutely no public evidence confirming that any manipulated media assets were ever created or used by the organization, the reported timing of these technology consultations has naturally generated intense curiosity from followers tracking the leadership transition. The reported presence of sophisticated voice cloning technology introduces a highly complex layer of analysis for the online community. When claims of consultations with digital effects firms surface during a high-profile organizational shift, subsequent public releases face a natural wave of critical questions from an analytical audience. The primary point of discussion across media forums involves the extensive archive of unreleased video and audio recordings of Charlie Kirk currently held by the entity. Observers note that with modern voice synthesis, content can technically be produced posthumously, a technical reality that has raised broader, hypothetical questions among viewers about how a digital legacy is managed. When the creator is no longer present to verify the material, this technological angle has caused the audience to look back at the immediate actions taken by key figures on the day of the tragedy through a much more cautious lens. Now, let's step into the territory of internal responses and unverified online claims. A major point of discussion centers on a video published by Marx, who was reportedly the first public figure to release a statement confirming Charlie's passing, uploading his update hours before official news outlets or organizational spokespersons issued a formal announcement. The specific source that provided Marx with this immediate information has never been publicly named, and reports indicate that he traveled directly to the private residence in Arizona immediately upon the family's return. This rapid involvement has been heavily discussed by followers, especially alongside unverified claims from insiders alleging that Charlie Kirk and Victor Marx had actually experienced a significant professional disagreement months prior, which had reportedly resulted in them cutting communication and unfollowing each other on social media platforms. If these past communication blocks were accurate, the sudden prominence of Victor Marx within the private family space has left online observers openly looking for clarity. Alongside the role of Marx, the public positioning of Andrew Kulvette has also remained under consistent observation by the community. While several long-term executives and foundational staff members quietly moved away from the organization following the tragedy, Kulvette maintained a highly visible presence, frequently using his platform to defend the official mourning timeline against public skepticism. For viewers tracking the chronology of the case, the combination of Kulvette's structured public defense, the early announcements by Marx, and the unverified reports of inquiries into visual effects presents a sequence of events that some observers view as unusual, leaving the audience to analyze how these separate pieces fit together. The discussion around internal organizational tension has been further amplified by widespread online reports suggesting that Charlie Kirk's own parents have systematically distanced themselves from the current leadership structure and the immediate household. In traditional advocacy groups, the active, visible participation of the founding family is considered an important element for maintaining public trust and continuity. A perceived distance between the primary bloodline and the remaining executives has led some observers to speculate about internal differences. This reported separation became noticeable to the public around the same time the metadata controversies and unverified DNA rumors began trending heavily across social media, signaling to viewers that the internal dynamic may have faced significant challenges behind closed doors, with the official version of events facing these multiple layers of data. Older interactions within the conservative media circle are being reviewed by the public to find additional context. This includes analyzing past communication networks involving media figures like Cabot Phillips to see if internal friction had been developing long before the tragic events of September. Additionally, unverified rumors concerning potential updates to estate planning and legal documents in the weeks preceding the passing have entered the public discussion. While these financial and legal details currently lack any public verification or official record, they are being evaluated by the online community as possible indicators of an internal shift occurring well before the public became aware of a crisis. When you separate these elements into what is verified on camera versus what remains unverified rumor, it becomes clear why this transition continues to capture so much public attention. The challenge of managing public relations in a decentralized digital environment means that a single unexpected statement on a live AGI stream can cause an entire narrative to face immediate scrutiny. The core questions surrounding this transition remain entirely open, with no direct statements from the current management team addressing the specific timeline gaps, leaving the public to evaluate the ongoing commentary as it unfolds across the media landscape. As we track how this narrative continues to develop, the distinction between formal reporting and public perception remains the most critical factor to watch. What is your take on these unanswered questions and the different layers of details surrounding this timeline based on the public record? Do you think the community is looking at genuine inconsistencies? Or is this simply a case of a complex situation being misinterpreted online? Share your thoughts on these developments in the comments below. Join the conversation to help us unpack more of this ongoing media commentary. And keep your notifications active as we continue to follow where the data leads next.